have 2 questions for you. Number 1, ask yourself, are you worthy of being loved? And number 2, are you focused more on what you want instead of the value you bring into a relationship, friendship, or whatever quantity you want? Think about that. Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Lena Inez, and this is the Free My Mind podcast. The podcast designed for individuals who are willing to reach their high potential selves, open to wisdom and knowledge, and all talks self-improvement, mental health, and mindset growth. In this podcast, I aim to deliver a message that will help you, motivate you, and one day make you successful. So with no further ado, let's dive into this week's podcast episode. Last week's episode, I was in a complete different corner. This time I'm in this corner, which I sadly don't like. We have the window, we have scrabbles from my little sister. I have so many notes about this topic because I am very passionate about becoming the one before you meet the one. And I feel like especially in this generation, we are always wanting to crave a better, higher standard for ourselves, even though we do not meet those qualities of what the high standard person is looking forward to. So I decided to construct a video about relationships, about what love is, and overall ourselves, on our value and what we bring into a relationship, what we bring into a friendship. And so just constructing this topic was one of my favorite things, because I feel like I have found so much wisdom, so much knowledge in discovering this topic, so I could provide y'all with some knowledge and wisdom as well, but also because it is something that we need to know. It is something that we need to learn ourselves. We stay so far away from understanding our value and what it brings and what it means in a relationship. And so I mostly don't talk about relationships in my podcast, but because of this season, I felt like it felt right for me to create this podcast episode, especially knowing that there's a lot of individuals out there pursuing the wrong one, pursuing the wrong type of love, pursuing things that are not meant for purpose. And so today we're going to talk about the love you seek versus the value you bring. And so let's dive. To begin with, we're going to cover these topics in this episode: understanding your current value, what makes someone else valuable, standards, understand to lower your expectation, patience, is more about you than them, change your belief, and becoming the one. I guarantee it's not going to be too long, but it's definitely not going to be the same time span as my other episodes. So get a snack, get comfortable, and maybe get some paper and pens just in case you do find something in here valuable. Always make sure to share it with me, and I would love to just have a conversation about any topic that you feel like you need help on. But besides the point, let's start. So remember the 2 questions I asked you in the beginning. Are you worthy of being loved? And the truth is, we all are worthy of being loved, but some of us set these standards and where we feel like we deserve having this type of love when truly we haven't set the standard that high for ourselves. Let me abbreviate this. Stop trying to find and seek love when you have not loved yourself. Simple, easy concept, but why is it so hard for us to apply it? And the issue here is not that you don't love yourself. The issue here is that you silence your inner voice. You silence the good deeds in your life. Because number 1, you want to make your pleasure louder than your actions. You want to make your desires louder than your purpose. Stop it. That's how you're harming yourself. You're making this gap grow very far apart because you're so focused on the things that are not going to lead you to purpose. I always talk about purpose. For some reason, that's the vocab of the year. But I'm telling you, you are worthy of being loved, but you aren't always a person that's worthy of being loved by others. Because number 1, you project what you're in the inside. And most of y'all are projecting this bad person or someone with a negative energy, and then that's why people aren't really attracted to you. Okay, and so this is where also I think one of my friends, she gave me this insight: stop chasing. I feel like I don't get anything in return when I chase. Something bad that I have is that I always want to chase. Like, I'm always the one trying to find the guy and, make the first move, because I felt comfortable dominating and not really submitting. And so that's why I've always find myself chasing, and guess how that comes out? Guess how that turns out to be? Horrible. It never works out at the end. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, I should have listened to the other people saying that I should just let it be. And it's true. Be patient. Let love be. And I'm not just talking about love, but I'm also talking about the love within yourself. Be patient within yourself. Don't rush yourself into accepting to terms. Don't rush yourself into creating or making this habit happen because you want it fast. Stop it. You're hurting yourself. And this is where I come in place and I talk about how love is a practice. To practice love, you have to show gratitude. You have to practice it within your closest relatives. Stop seeking when you can't love your inner circle. Stop seeking when in the environment that you're at right now, you can't even find the love and peace and joy in it. You know how many people are searching in the wrong areas in life and not really searching in the areas that they've already been placed at? You're already granted love in those environments, but you're neglecting that because you feel like there's a different perception. Social media is fake. What you see in person is fake. Behind closed doors, love is more than just an emotion or something that's portrayed, but love is something that you have to put effort. Love is something that doesn't boast. Love never ends. And if you feel like the love ended, because it was never love. So think about it. How are you perceiving love? If you're perceiving love in a way that you feel like you have to continue to chase it to be able to get it, you're thinking wrong, because love is mostly intrinsic than extrinsic. Extrinsic is different qualities that you bring into the table, like looks, money, well-being. But intrinsic is the value you bring into the table. Analyze yourself. That's where the second question comes in place. Are you worried more about finding the love than actually finding your value? Think about that real quick. Sit quietly and think about, what values can I bring into the table? What values creates me and shape me to be reasonably enough to be loved? Because to be honest, you don't want to get into a relationship where you're not healed, where you're not ready. And then when you're in the relationship, you feel like it's so bad. And the reason why if the relationship feels completely wrong is because of you. Just saying that. And I'm saying this because of experience, because I came into a relationship, brokenhearted already, with so many things in my chest, right? But, with this person, he was able to, help me, build me up. But the thing is, the other person is not responsible for your healing. The other person is not responsible of shaping you. You're responsible of shaping yourself. So if you're leaning or wanting somebody to save you from the desperation that you're at right now, then stop seeking somebody else's love, because you're just going to hurt them too, because you're hurt. Stop hurting others because you're hurt too. Stop seeking them. Stop wanting it because you can't find it within yourself. Look at yourself and ask yourself, I'm worthy of being loved because blah, 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 these qualities. And then look at yourself again and be like, okay, but I'm also not worthy of being loved because of this and that and that. There's no one out there that doesn't deserve love. We all deserve it. But we just have to be patient. We have to be able to persevere through the deepest moments. And so, number one, understand your value. If you don't understand it well enough, I don't want you to get into a relationship and then hurt them because you're hurt, because you want them to save you. That other person has their own worries as well. You think they're and that's where I give the props to the guys. Some girls come into the relationship broken. And, girls are mostly vulnerable. They're mostly always going to show their emotions, while guys are mostly, they kind of put that barrier within their life. They have those boundaries. And so thinking about that, as a girl, it's going to be easy for us to just express ourselves. And a guy would always think about, oh, I need to comfort this girl, or like, I have to do this for her, they're gonna feel responsible of healing you, and the truth is, right now is not the time. And maybe not just the time, but maybe you just gotta help yourself first. There's two different case scenarios, because to be honest, we don't even know the outcomes of where our relationship with that person could be. Y'all can end up married, y'all can end up in different areas in life, but just knowing how am I gonna serve in this relationship is so important before you actually get into one. Because it's about purpose of the relationship. It's not about the potential that it brings. Potential, literally, you could ask somebody, do I look cute with this person? And they'll be like, yeah, you do. That's the potential of the relationship. But what is the purpose? What is that relationship going to serve in your overall life? The purpose of my past relationship was to shape me and construct me into becoming more open-minded about what love and lust is. But love isn't lust. Love is one thing, lust is another. When I was driven to these lustful desires, I felt really bad, because I felt that I know that there was a value in what, let's be honest, virginity brings. And my dad would always tell me how a girl is naturally born up here, while a guy is naturally born down here. Now, what a guy would do is they build themselves up to meet the girl up here. But sometimes what a girl does, sometimes when things feel like there's nothing else to do but to just demoralize themselves, their value goes down. And the thing is, whenever you start demoralizing yourself, you kind of fall into a level where you kind of meet the person you didn't want to meet because of how high your standards were, and because you demoralized yourself. So you met this person down here. No, both of us, both women and men, should be able to continue to grow. Even if women are naturally born up here, continue to find the growth, continue to find the value that you bring. And then guys, continue to level yourselves up, because you are going to find the girl one day. You are going to find the wife one day. You just got to persevere. Like, y'all have more responsibility in the relationship than a girl has. I'm saying this because y'all are mostly the ones that are going to lead them. Y'all are mostly the ones that are going to provide. And I'm not saying materialistic. I'm saying more about the nurturing side. Like, a guy's masculinity is what kind of brings a girl up. So always think about the energy you're going to bring into the table. You have more responsibilities. And I kind of feel bad when girls are like, men suck, men don't do anything. Think about what they have to do for you. They're literally working themselves up to meet you. But because of that mindset, you're slowly getting down there. A girl's mindset, a boy's mindset is completely the fine line between what love should be, because whatever their mind is set to is what they believe in. You gotta make sure that the person that you want to get to believes in you and believes what you do. Because I can believe you, but if I'm not believing what you're doing, I don't know where you're driven. I don't know where your goal will be at. I need to believe what you're doing. That means I have to believe your purpose. I have to believe your goals. I have to believe your reasoning. Because if there's no meaning, no reason to why you are so motivated, I don't know how you're going to motivate the other person to go with you. You have to be prepared to lead. As a man, you have to be prepared to lead. But as a girl, you have to be ready to submit. You have to be ready to be led as well. I feel like the strongest quality that you can bring in the table for a relationship to work out is leadership. Accountability. Leadership is just the ability to lead others. As a woman, you should be able to lead other individuals. You're supposed to give them wisdom and knowledge. Leadership is accountability. If I notice that my partner is sad or he needs something, then what I will have to do is I have to act like a leader and be like, hey, we're going to get through this together. As a guy, hey, we're going to get through this together. Think about leadership together. This is not one thing. This is contributing into the relationship. Stop giving 50, 60, 70% of what you have and give 100. And this is where you need to discern where your standards are, because most of us are settling for less and then we're giving 100% of what our less is given. Number one, you look dumb giving 100% of what less is given. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I lowered my standards. You didn't, because love never lowers its standards. But if you say that you lower your standards, at the end of the day, it was never love. So stop complaining that you lower your standards if you truly did love them. And if you didn't, that's just an offense to the partner that you dated. And this is where I talk about emotional maturity. You need to have the value of being emotional mature right after the breakup, right in the relationship, and prior to the relationship, because you don't want to take advantage of the fact that love is being received. Most of y'all act like nothing has ever happened between you and that person. Most of y'all act like y'all aren't grateful or miss this person. Be so for real. They shaped you as a person. And I'm telling you, you have to step up as a person and tell them straight up, I'm so sorry. Or you have to probably just, talk to them and be like, hey, like, this is what happened, I'm not saying go back to them. What I'm saying is owe up to your actions, because that person is also a person. They didn't only just serve love to you, but they also served purpose in your life. And if they didn't, that's completely out of its norm. That means that you lowered your standard, but stop saying how I mentioned that you lower your standards if it was truly love, because love never ends. You love this person. If you truly love them, you would also love yourself. Just saying, as much as you love yourself, be able to take accountability and contribute to whoever that person you hurt. I like to think about this, that not only is that person going to be my lover, but that person is also my friend. He has his own things in life. And no, I'm not taken, but I'm just referencing to what I would like in my husband. I want to be able to lead with him. I want to be able to contribute into things and be emotionally mature. This is where I feel like healthy boundaries need to be set. Respecting them, honoring them, and not going above the means of your power. I'm telling you, in a relationship, you both submit to each other. It's not just one leads and one submits, or one submits and one submits, and one leads, one leads. No, it's both of y'all do all of the qualities together. Both of y'all submit. Both of y'all commit. Both of y'all lead. Both of y'all are always gonna do something together, because in a relationship, both of y'all together create one single power. But if you allow your power to be more superior than the other partner, that is not gonna work out. I'm saying this because I've seen this, I heard this, and I'm just like, guys, learn how to submit, learn how to listen. Both of y'all. That's how a lot of arguments happen, because one of y'all think y'all are superior, the other one thinks that they're superior as well. Quit it. I don't know how else y'all could quit that. But then y'all are referencing why y'all relationship is so bad and why it isn't working. Because y'all want to take, both of y'all want to take control of the relationship. But what it takes is both of y'all to submit. You need to submit your power so your relationship can work out. Because most of y'all's relationship isn't working out because you want to have the power of the relationship. You want to feel dominant. Stop pushing something upon a guy, because then a guy feels pressure. And then upon a girl too, stop setting these unrealistic standards about a girl. Number one, viewing the girl with lust won't bring you nothing but like a sorrow in your heart. And I'm telling y'all, what makes a person valuable as well is the discernment in their heart. It's differentiating what is right, what is wrong. Because whenever you let discernment lead your life, you're able to navigate into the righteous path, into the path you should be taking. That's why I'm so careful about my reputation and the people I want to talk to. Like, this might sound so cliche, but right after me and him broke up, I haven't gotten into any other relationship, because number one, I am so focused on trying to become the right one for myself before I meet the right one. Like right now, if I were to date, I would probably be the relationship would probably be in a state where it's neglected because of how busy I am, and I don't want that. But something that you also have to keep in mind is that you have to learn. I'm not saying there's bad people out there that you shouldn't be dating. No. What I'm saying is that you have to fix yourself first and then see how you serve in a relationship. You can't know until you try it, right? My advice to you after this advice that I have given to you is to try out a relationship with the new life you created, creating the new you, created in this new spirit. Try it out. See how that goes. Because you can only know how you serve in that new person, in that new body, if you just put yourself in that environment. That's why I haven't tried dating, because number one, my heart is so discerning. Number two, that's why I haven't talked to anybody either, because I don't want to have a reputation where like, oh, this girl talks to so many guys. No, I know I'm valuable. That's why I'm not putting myself out there. That's why I'm not selling myself short to anybody. I know there's someone out there capable of the qualities I'm bringing to the table. Be aware. Be aware on how much love you should be getting and who should be loving you, because you choose who gets to love you. Your parents did not go through all of that to set an example for you to be in a toxic relationship, to be in a relationship that is not worthy. And not just that. Overall, why would you get in a relationship that hurts you? I told one of my friends this: you attract who you are. If you're attracting these people that are just completely out of your norms, it's probably because they're exactly like you too. Think about that. They're exactly like you too. Stop judging them and start realizing, why am I attracting these type of people in my life? Why am I attracting a girl that does lust? Why am I attracting a guy that smokes? Why am I attracting a guy that is manipulative? Why am I attracting a girl that doesn't even communicate? Think about that. Why are you attracting those type of relationships? Number one, the enemy can crawl up to you and he'll, of course, try to blind you and put a girl that absolutely has no meaning in your life, but yet you allow her access. Stop giving people access to your heart. And I'm saying this because you're supposed to protect your heart. Not everybody has to get access to it. The way people have access to your heart should be the same way people leave your life. There's a lot of people that are going to try to manipulate to get access to your heart. And this is where I say be careful and protect your heart with all vigilance. Don't push yourself around feeling obligated to love somebody when you're not. Stop forcing love between someone that can't love you anymore, or somebody that doesn't have those emotions anymore. As I said, love is more than just emotions. Love is a practice. And if you're not practicing love within the environment that you're placed right now, I don't know how you're going to get shaped. But whatever it is, find peace. Find love within yourself. Guys, don't lower your standards or don't give girls easy access to your heart because you feel obligated. Same with girls. Stop giving your hearts away because you feel obligated. I like to talk about God and Jesus in my videos, even though they're mostly about psychology, they're mostly about mental health, motivation. But overall, to top this, the greatest standard that you can set in a relationship is putting God in the center. Always seeking God, because all of this can only come when you set God. If you focus on God, there's a lot of things that could change. And it could change the trajectory of your relationship. Like, I've seen it on other people. I've seen joy and peace. And I've seen the definition of love through God. That's how I know love is, because I felt it through God. It wasn't a romantic feeling. It was more of a comforting, and it was great. It's great to receive this type of love. And we have lost the definition of love because of the standard and the norms of society about lust. We normalized lust, and it has taken advantage of what we perceive love to be. We're like, but I love this person, so I'm gonna get ahead and do this. Or I love this person, so I feel like I'm obligated to give up my body. You aren't obligated. I want you to write this down and write down, what is my definition of love? And then describe what love is. This is where you have to be so precise in what you're trying to express, because love comes from the heart. And so whatever you express in the paper, make sure it comes from pure authenticity, and that it's just a definition that is truly from you and not somebody else. And I want you to think about, how can I shape this relationship, or how can I shape myself to be better in the relationship, or how can I shape myself to be ready for a relationship. It's rather be prepared than not be prepared. And I'm telling you, relationship emotions or that feeling of love comes so fast. Like, they come really fast. But that's where you have to be prepared and stand firm in what you believe, having that purpose, being driven, being motivated. And then after you're done with that, like I'm telling you, love is going to come to you easy because you have focused on yourself. You were able to navigate life because you focused on yourself. So think about that. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's podcast episode. I sounded congested because I am congested. But other than that, I was able to record this episode. I try to go based on my notes, but I kind of memorized them, and I didn't practice the script because I mostly do my scripts prior. I didn't practice it, so I was just like, hopefully I get to say like all the points that I wanted to say, and then I did. So I'm so happy how the video turned out. I'm happy how my words formulated in this video, and overall I hope you learned something. I hope that you were able to get something for yourself, and I hope that you're also able to share it. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I am your host, Lynn. I'm so beyond excited for next week's podcast episode as well. I want to be consistent in the matter of posting. And other than that, I feel like that's all I have. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you give this podcast show a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and make sure that you follow my social medias right here. And other than that, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying in tune. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Happy Valentine's Day.